it does more than anything is clear up headspace.
That takes you away from worrying about the low-level implementation details and more making sure that the strategy and the execution is correct.
In the beginning, it was just for like little fun stuff here and there. But now I can talk to it like I would talk to a friend.
When you can provide it with what you expect its response to be, that's almost equally as valuable. So crafting kind of the output that you want from it can be really, really handy, kind of templatizing things.
Those are such like productive ideas. I'm here like, hey, what would I look like as a dog? Did any of you try that?
My refrigerator was broken and it smelled like it was burning and it was making this really awful sound. So I put the problem in ChatGPT and I'm not even kidding. It was like, is there possibly something melted to the light? And sure enough, I moved everything and down behind.
It is bizarre how good ChatGPT is at home improvement.
I would have bought a new fridge.
I had like estimators come over for my fuse box. And they just sent me invoices with all their different things and their prices. And I just put the PDFs in there and I'm just like, hey, tell me what to do. That was enormously helpful. It just cut through all the...
That's genius. You know who has that problem a lot is like property managers, all they do is get bids, evaluate bids. Your clients are always going to ask you follow-up questions like, well, what's the difference between this one and this one?
I had to get a new refrigerator. My last refrigerator died because it was totally my fault. And I wasn't vacuuming the coils of the compressor like a lot of dog hair. It was terrible. I just got total fatigue of looking at all these details about refrigerators. So I just like shoved the model numbers into ChatGPT. Which one should I get? By the way, if I have to pull the refrigerator out and vacuum the back, I'm not going to be good about that. And it specifically came back with, oh, don't worry, this GE model that you mentioned comes with something so specific. The condenser coils did not need that kind of maintenance. And I was like, add to cart.
I've been using it for my like D&D campaign.
Oh, that
nice. Yeah. Keeping track of like my avatar. Something that was pretty bad. If you had an image that you liked and then you're like, oh, well, I got a new weapon. Let me like put the new weapon in. You get like something that looks completely nothing like what your original thing was. And it was like, no, I really like that one though. These days, it's actually really good at reproducing like similar images.
I didn't know that you could like tell it this part, fix this part, change this. I didn't know you
you just circle the weapon and be like, change my pole arm into a scimitar.
Yeah, in the beginning, you couldn't be specific like that.
One of my friends, he's basically keeping track of like his entire thing using ChatGPT. Each character has their own custom GPT with their images, and every time they get a new item, their like avatar basically up to date all the time, and it's really cool.
Of all the people here, I feel like Tree is on the bleeding edge of all the AI stuff, like all the time. What's the biggest thing that you've seen go from like an absolute flop to a surprising, shocking win?
I use advanced voice a lot. In the beginning, obviously, it was very slow. You had to wait, but now that you can kind of interrupt it, if you start with advanced voice and you talk to the thing, you can kind of design your whole core structure, whatever you're working on. Get all the info fed to the AI. So that's something I do a lot of. I think voice has been profound, and I expect that it's going to merge into coding, for instance, and all the other areas that we use AI.
I'm going to kick it to you, Amanda. As a parent, with your daughter, you've done some really creative stuff.
I used it for her scavenger hunt for her birthday. I was planning a birthday party last minute, 2 days before her birthday. I'm like, give me a scavenger hunt for the neighborhood. Boom.
Cedra, I know that you've used it to create games as well.
I knew that I wanted to do something that was really interactive for my son's Christmas presents. So I thought it would be cool to do something like an escape room. I bought a bunch of combination locks. Some of the combination locks use letters, some use numbers. And so I would just tell ChatGPT, like, here's what I have to work with. Let's go backwards and start making some solutions, combinations of the letters and numbers. Give me a puzzle that gives me this 6-digit number. I had something that was color coded that he had to go find. all right, give me a poem that uses these 4 colors. This is something I probably would have done on my own, but it would have taken me weeks leading up to Christmas. I love doing that stuff. It's not as though it's taking the joy from me.
I think that a lot of people, creative people, have anxiety that AI removes creativity, like it destroys creativity.
What I think it does more than anything is clear up headspace. Like a lot of times when you're trying to be creative, there's a lot of technical stuff, or maybe you're just thinking in a whole bunch of ways. AI, it can sort through some of that, even research some of that, or at least put it in a checklist. So you can just kind of put that away and then just focus on the creative, focus on what makes you unique and what you want to provide.
I did a similar thing for my kids for Christmas. There was like some all around the neighborhood sort of scavenger hunt thing that they had to do. I didn't realize that everybody did this until we had this conversation, but it's apparently a thing. You create like all these puzzles, and it's like it takes a while to do all of that work, but you can kind of architect it, and the end result is like way better, right?
Fully agree. And Patrick, I love what you said about clearing up headspace. There are a lot of things where I'm almost internalizing, hang on, I'm going to take the credit for this idea. I knew that I came up with the idea of using a color-coded system, and like when he laid out all the colors on certain numbers, it would reveal the code. I came up with that, but then I thought, well, I don't have the creative, I guess, energy in me to write a poem, but it feels like that's what's necessary right now. So let me just throw that into ChatGPT. I'm just assigning the legwork to, my assistant on the side.
I had an experience. My dad had a terminal illness called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Idiopathic meaning we don't know what the hell it is. It could be all kinds of things. There's like a crap load of research to differentiate between an average doctor and an excellent one, or a good one at least, right? And that is a pretty big advantage. ChatGPT, deep research. I'm flying on a plane to Brazil. My sister's having this medical emergency, and I'm just like using this incredibly amazing technology that gives me the ability to know this stuff that would have taken me 3 weeks to come up to speed on. I'm like up to speed by the time I hit the ground. I'm like, dang, what a great world to live in. And then I'm interpreting stuff in Portuguese, scanning in her medical documents to try to understand what they're doing. And it translates them and tells me everything and incorporates it into the conversation. It's amazing. I mean, so yeah, deep research, dude, it's like literally like life changing from a healthcare perspective. I did an interview with a writer. She wanted some quotes from like real customers. So I typed in to deep research, O3 deep research. I'm like, can you find me some quotes from real customers? And so it did it, and it cited our YouTube videos. It actually dug through our transcripts and found that. Like,
it's the subtitles. Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
I was putting the transcripts in and having ChatGPT do it, but you took even less work than that.
Frankly, it does it as well as I can. And now how does that work on the development side?
It's been a huge time saver. When you think about programmers, if you want to like do something, you're going to be like, how can I be the laziest to like get this thing done? So like for technical docs, a lot of programmers will use their documented like code and stuff to generate the docs. And that's great. You provide the information, but if you're trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B, you have to go through all these different files and all these different technical documents. ChatGPT can do that as a shortcut. Combine all that information, you're able to ask it a general question like, hey, how do I do this thing using all of these building blocks? And it's just like, oh, you should use this and this and this and this. Then you can go back and double check. You want to make sure the information is correct or whatever, but like it's able to kind of surface all of that for you very quickly, whereas it would take you more time to piece it together yourself.
Some of the most like obvious big wins and like the fastest growing companies potentially in the space are doing like code automation. Anthropic and ChatGPT's new models are optimized for the development use case. It really does work. I mean, Amanda, you built, I think maybe Tree, you've also built some things, from scratch. It's like, well, they're calling it vibe coding now, but like, frankly, it's coding, like it is. And also it's not. A lot of developers have anxiety that their job's going to get taken. I think that that's reasonable anxiety, but to to the same way that Cedra and Patrick are talking about, it like moves you back and up another level, right? We're thinking about products and solutions a little bit less about writing the actual data persistence logic or whatever.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. That takes you away from worrying about the low-level implementation details and more about like making sure that the strategy and the execution is correct. You're able to kind of like refine the spec, get the code written. It saves a lot of time.
Those are such like productive ideas. And I'm here like, hey, what would I look like as a dog? Did any of you try that?
So how does this work?
Put up a picture of yourself and then ask it, hey, what would I look like as a dog?
I've asked what my dog would look like as a person.
I did that too. And do I have something to share with you guys? So this is me in a photo. What would I look like as a dog? So here we go. I'm going to gently scroll. Here I am. This is probably, I think, my blog picture, and notice my little blue and white dress. So here I am as a dog. There I am. But the dog's wearing a dress. Which is amazing. It gets better. So then I took the idea of like, all right, let's reverse it. Here's my dog. Here he is. What would he look like as a person? And I like that they gave him like some salt and pepper hair, a scritchy little beard. Oh, there's his dress.
At least it doesn't have a tail.
And it's got the same background as yours. That's awesome.
It sure does. It's just me and my dog combined, which I never asked for.
Somebody should like do a screenshot of all of us.
I did. Here's a dog version. That's
nice. That's beautiful. Yeah. So thanks for showing up, you guys. Thanks for sharing all your hot tips and AI suffering. It's been fun. I feel like we could do this again, but have a great afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.